So I called into her place on my way to work this morning, but she wasn't at home. A neighbour said she and her boyfriend had gone out in a car.
Oh, she can go out without telling you.
Yes, I know, but she seemed so desperate for money the last time I talked with her, and I wanted to tell her about the job I'd lined up.
Well, maybe she was out looking for a job. In any case, as I explained to you, officially I don't want to know anything about your dealings with Margot Gaffney, as she's no longer an inmate. Unofficially, I would suggest you wait until she contacts you. Now, I'd like to talk to you about B. Smith.
Oh, what's wrong? Has she had a relapse?
Not that I've heard of, but I'd like you to keep an eye on her just in case.
Well, there's nothing much we can do if she refuses to go to hospital.
Mr. Douglas has arranged permission for her to go if necessary.
If the department hadn't been so bloody-minded in the first place, we could have had her in an ambulance and on the way to the hospital before she came to.
Well, Sister Johnson is worried that she may still have concussion. So, as I said, I'd like you to keep an eye on her.
Listen, Dor, I reckon Bee's getting worse. George and me were going along the corridor and we heard her yelling out in her sleep. She was in an awful state, having a nightmare about being down that drain.
That's not surprising, Lizzie. I still have nightmares about being in that place.
But this was different. It took us ages to wake her up and she looked awful. I reckon she ought to be in hospital.
Yeah, she's just being stubborn, Lizzie. Look, I'll have a word to her at lunchtime and see if I can talk some sense into her, okay? Georgie, got a minute?
What?
Well, I just think it's pretty stupid you and I going at each other the way we have been, and I was wondering if you were interested in burying the hatchet.
Why?
Well, I've been talking to your mum, and she told me some things that I hadn't really thought about, and she knows she did some awful things to you when you were a kid, but there probably wasn't anything else she could do at the time.
Get on with it.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, well, don't shut her out. You'll regret it one day. She wants to get back with you, Georgie, if you'll only let her.
Who do you think you are lecturing me? I survived pretty well all these years without a mother when I needed her. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't got one I never did have. Just shut up and mind your own business.
You've survived. Look at yourself. Look at me. Is this what you call surviving? No. The bell's not to come out fighting, it's for lunch.
Right, ladies, come on, lunch.
Maureen? I just want to say thanks for trying, but I knew it was no good. I've just got to get used to the idea I don't have a daughter anymore. And it's my own fault.
Yeah, but she could at least give you the chance to make up for it. She's so bloody stubborn. If the dinner bell hadn't have gone, I would have ended up punching her in the face.
Oh, for crying out loud. Are you two at it again? Why don't you lay off? We're in enough trouble as it is.
I'm just trying to get Georgie and Jeannie back together, that's all.
Yeah, well, you know you rub each other up the wrong way. Why don't you just stay out of things that don't concern you?
G'day, Bee. How you feeling now, love?
Oh, much the same. I thought if I had something to eat, I might feel a bit better.
Hi, Bee.
Hi. G'day, Jude.
Hi, Bee.
Look, about our little misunderstanding, I didn't really...
Oh, my God. Bee!
Hi. Saw an ambulance leaving as I was coming in. Who was it for?
B. Smith collapsed.
The stupid bureaucrat in the department hadn't been so tied up with red tape. Smith would have been in hospital by now.
Yeah, oversupplied with staff and undersupplied with common sense.
Yes. Listen, I want to start Georgie Baxter on a special reading class this afternoon.
What for? You're wasting your time.
I don't think so. I think she's basically very bright. And I'm determined to teach her how to read and write before she leaves here.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, she could just regress and drop her studies once she's released.
Well, watch yourself. You might end up with concussion, too, from bashing your head against a brick wall.
Here she comes now, see? Now watch. The same way she does it every week. And exactly the same way her and the paymaster will do it tomorrow. They'll never learn.
Is that the same briefcase they'll be using?
Yep. Today it's empty. She's delivering checks. Tomorrow, about 20 grand. But not for long.
Who's bringing the bolt cutters?
What for?
How have a look at what's hanging from the handle.
Oh, hell, I never noticed that.
You can bet your life he'll be chained to that coast tomorrow. You're going to have to cut him free. I don't fancy driving along with him hanging out of the back door by his wrist. It might look a bit suspicious.
No worries, I'll tee it up with Bazza.
Don't bother. I'd rather do it myself. I want to remind him to take things easy. Don't want anyone hurt.
No worries.
Where is everybody?
There's no one else coming. I purposely rostered the class so that I could devote the whole lesson to teaching you how to read.
Why?
Well, I thought it'd be easier for us to concentrate if there were just the two of us here.
Oh, is that the only reason?
Yes. Don't you want to learn?
Oh, bloody oath. I want to show that stupid bitch mother of mine and the others that I'm not an idiot.
Good girl. Well, let's get to it.
Tell you what, if I can, I'd rather learn to read and write properly than do the pottery class.
Well, that's fine by me.
Oh, great. Well, where do we start?
What the hell are you doing? That's my last pair of pantyhose.
We're making masks for the job.
No one's going to have time to look at your legs, but they might have time to look at your face.
Here are the bolt cutters. I got them at one of the big hardware stores so there'd be less chance of the shop assistant recognising me again.
Smart girl. You see, Bazza? Not just a pretty face. Don't worry, mate. After tomorrow night, you'll have so much brass you'll be able to buy gold-plated pantyhose.
Wayne, I told you. After Maxie gets his dough, no one lays a finger on the rest of it for 12 months. Till the heat's off.
What? Well, what about my share?
Yours too. Make up your mind now. If you don't like it, the deal's off. Cops are bound to get hold of the serial numbers. If we go splashing it round, we'll be up in front of the beak again in no time. And I tell you, I'm not going back to Wentworth for you or for anyone.
Janet.
Hello, Georgie.
Oh, for God's sake, can't I have a moment's peace? What do you want?
I just want to have a word to you in private.
Only word I want to hear from you is goodbye.
Well, as a matter of fact, that is one of them. I leave here tomorrow afternoon.
Good.
Georgie, I know it's too late, and I probably won't ever see you again. But I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't realise you had a hearing problem all those years. And, well, it must have been rotten.
Maybe if you'd had a little bit more time for me, you might have found out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad it was a success, and now you can do anything you want to do. Don't waste your chances like I did.
At the end of your motherly advice.
Yeah.
Good. And you're right, you won't be seeing me again. You can look forward to a long, lonely old age. And when you die, it'll take them days to find you because there'll be no one around to care.
How's it coming along?
Oh, slow. Well, I'll get there.
I'm sure you will. I've arranged with Mrs. Davidson for you to attend both morning and afternoon classes. I told her that a crash course would be more valuable to you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Good.
Hey, what's this word?
We'll sound out the letters.
K, E, A, S, E, T.
Not bad, but it's a soft C. Ceased. It means to stop. Like the sound ceased, or she ceased to exist. It means she stopped living. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Don't forget this afternoon's class.
Uh-uh.
I suppose you think that Georgie being allowed to attend both classes sounds like favoritism. Georgie needs as much help as she can get and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, why not? Hey, Georgie. You know, your mother seemed pretty upset last night. I don't know what was wrong with her. She just seemed really uptight.
Ah.
Oh, come on, Georgie. She's going to leave in a couple of hours. Why don't you just go